betrachten wollen mit seiner besonderen Aufgabe am letzten Rennwochenende. Das ist auch so ein ganz besonderes Thema. Der ist eigentlich noch in dieser Abstammung, liegt aber seit Menschen in diesem Auto, sprich dieser Sprache zu treffen. Und seine ganz große Liebe, sein ganz großes Thema ist eigentlich der schafft immer mal wieder Bände, aber es spricht Menschen hinaus und beschäftigt sich auch mit Anstrengung. Es ist dieser Mann, der sagt, Carlos sein Hauptstart beim 25-Stunden-Rennen.
It's a full grid of cars for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. 32 cars is the maximum number of cars allowed in a Porsche Carrera Cup race. And 32 cars is how many we've got, because added to the 28 permanent drivers, we've got 4 guest drivers. It's going to be action-packed all the way for the next 30 minutes. I can't wait for this. Can you, Dave Richardson?
No, we love the Carrera Cup anyway. And when you add 4 guest drivers into the mix as well, Ianca and Guven done a great job, qualified the car on pole position ahead of Leon Köhler and Larry ten Voorde on P3, with Lauren Heinrich going from P4. Bastian Buus will go from P5. We'll get to the grid in due course, but there's Guven for Phoenix Racing then. And Leon Köhler, the Nebulous Racing by Huber driver. And you can see the onboard shots there, and that's what it looks like inside the cockpit of these incredible Carrera Cup cars. Leon Köhler then going from P2 on the grid. Look at that! Absolutely, almost to the conclusion of turn 10. Look.
It's wonderful, isn't it? And it's a big problem for Larry ten Voorde, because it looked like he was going to walk this championship. He won from pole for both of the first 2 races from Spa, but last time out at Oschersleben, a second and a third. By his standards, a bit of a failure, to be quite honest. Ooh. And third is where he starts on the grid.
Yes.
So Larry ten Voorde going from third on the grid. Ihanchen Guven starting from pole position. Yeah, Larry ten Voorde has finished on the podium pretty well every race for about the last 18 months in this series. Ianca Guven, who took a win in race 1 at Oschersleben and a second place, a real challenger in the championship, and Leon Köhler alongside, a couple of fourths at Oschersleben, looking to improve on that as we start on the formation lap for this. It's going to be very exciting. We've got 4 guest drivers, including Dorian Boccolacci, who is so entertaining at Spa, also Clement Mathieu, Aaron Mason from the Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain Series, and Sebastian Freimut as well. So they are adding to the numbers. It's a packed grid, and it's going to be action all the way.
Dorian Boccolacci doing a good job in qualifying then, and we'll bring you the grid in full. Here it is.
It's Ihanchen Guven alongside Leon Köhler on the front row of the grid. Ihanchen Guven carrying on where he left off. Larry ten Voorde third on the grid. He's going to need to make a good start with Lauren Heinrich alongside. Then Bastian Buus, how impressive was he at the last event, particularly with that remodeled front bonnet, and Max van Splunter and Julian Hanses on row 4, Jesse van Kuijk alongside for Team GP Elite, Morris Schuring, the young driver for Team GP Elite, and Christopher Zirkling make up row 5, the guesting Dorian Boccolacci and Rudy van Buren on row 6, Loic Hartog and Yuka Honkavori on row 7, and row 8, Sandro Kaibach and Lucas Grunewald. Row 9, Fabio Chistignola and Carlos Rivas heading up the Pro-Am Championship, with Sebastian Freimut, the visitor, alongside Antonio Teixeira. Rudolf Rien and Dan van Kuijk on row 11. Kim Hauschild and Bashar Mardini on row 12. Row 13, Clement Mathieu and Georgi Donchev. And row 14, Jan-Erik Sluten, Sebastian Glazer. Row 15, Ahmad Al-Shihab and Aaron Mason from Great Britain, and Christoph Langer and Holger Harmsen on row 16. And you saw the French flag next to Aaron Mason. It's because he's competing also in the Porsche Carrera Cup France Series. Coming round, of course, it's a standing start for these cars, so coming round to take their positions on the grid. The first of 2 races this weekend, and a back-to-back weekend, because they're at Monza next weekend, where they will be enjoying their 350th race in this season. In their series.
I was concerned you weren't going to get through the grid before the cars had made it back for their lineup, but you did, and well done to you. Ayhancan Guven then going from P1, Leon Köhler alongside him, but Larry Tenborder could be a dangerous man from P3 on the grid. Let's see how we do. It'll be a long while for the cars that are on the front, a couple of rows to wait for all the cars to come into position.
Die mit gut 3.500 Besuchern gefüllten Tribünen hier in Deutschland ist es ja bis dato so noch nicht wirklich möglich, obwohl es am Nürburgring ja auch bereits eine Genehmigung gab beim 24-Stunden-Rennen. Aber hier sieht das alles sehr schön, sehr ordentlich aus. Feld zieht hinein in die Startposition, Renndistanz übrigens 30 Minuten plus eine Runde. Grüne Flagge wird jetzt kommen. Wird jetzt gezeigt, damit geht das Feld in die Verantwortung des Starters und in die Verantwortung des Renndirektors, nämlich Werner Eichinger. Rot ist aus, wer kommt wie weg. Guter Start von Ayhancan Guven. Eigentlich guter Start vorne in der kompletten Vierer- bzw. Fünfer-Gruppe mit Bastian Buß, der es offensichtlich außen herum versuchen möchte gegen Laurin Heinrich. Das könnte sich sogar ausgehen. Wir gucken jetzt erstmal, dass es da nirgendwo hämmert und kracht. Das ist alles gut gegangen. Ayhancan Guven ist zurückgefallen, allerdings auf die zweite Position, nämlich bei der Anfahrt hin zu Turn 1 hat das nicht so ganz funktioniert. Das ging dann über zu Leon Köhler, der jetzt aus 235 runterbremst. Tempo 60, die erste Gangkurve, die erste Ecke dort oben, die wirkliche Ecke. Und da ist er vorne und da kommt noch einer angeflogen. Was ist denn da rund um Ayhancan Guven los gewesen? Der hat ja auch noch einen weiteren Platz verloren und zwar urplötzlich spielt jetzt Larry Tenborder auf diesem Klavier noch mit gegen Leon Köhler mit aller Fairness und mit allem Respekt. Die beiden, wie sie dort miteinander umgehen. Und der junge Mann aus dem Porsche Mobil 1 Supercup, der aber auch eine komplette Saison im Deutschen Cup bestreiten wird, nämlich hier die 53 Ayhancan Guven, zurückgefallen mal auf den dritten Rang. Also da spielen plötzlich zwei andere eine ganz andere Rolle. Und Luke Hartog im gelb-schwarzen Auto, bei dem der Benzindruck offensichtlich wieder da ist, hangelt sich da Plätzchen um Plätzchen nach vorne, streitet sich mit einem seiner niederländischen Landsleute aus der Mannschaft von GP Elite, Leon Köhler. Eine knappe Wagenlänge Vorsprung, feiner Zug, feine Fairness mit dieser tollen Akustik des Porsche 911 GT3 Cup in der neuesten Version, 510 PS stark. Zurück zu Start und Ziel. Und stehen die Tracklimits noch? Naja, so halbwegs funktioniert das Ganze. Und Leon Köhler hat wirklich die Oberhand behalten können in dieser ersten Runde und geht da vor Larry Tenborder, Ayhancan Guven und dann Laurin Heinrich und Max van Splünteren hinein in den zweiten Umlauf. So, jetzt fertig machen, ein bisschen Windschatten organisieren. Da sind sie alle ja noch ganz dicht beieinander. Und das blaue Auto aus der Mannschaft von GP Elite, das ist nämlich Lukas Grunefeld, der kommt da so ein bisschen ins Grüne und verliert da auch ein wenig an Boden, während die Truppe bereits weiterhetzt und die ersten durch die Gegend segeln. Da steckt drin, das könnte, das war Georgi Donchev und Sebastian Glaser. Sebastian Glaser aus der Mannschaft von David Brusa von Kartek, hinten rechts Radaufhängung gebrochen, eindeutig zu erkennen, da ist ihm einer drauf geknallt. Da ist erstmal Schicht im Schacht, doppelt gelb wird angezeigt und Georgi Donchev aus der Truppe von Christoph Huber, der ja im Übrigen auch ein neues Auto hat nach dem Startunfall in Oschersleben im zweiten Lauf. Auch der war, glaube ich, in diese Auseinandersetzung eingebunden. Wir schauen uns das gleich nochmal per Zeitlupenzuspielung ein kleines bisschen genauer an. Safety Car kann der Sebastian Glaser vermeiden, indem er auf 3,5 Rädern noch dort rüber hoppelt und damit ist wieder alles gut und ordentlich. Grün wird wieder angezeigt. Also, kein Stress. So, den Incident wird man sich natürlich später nochmal anschauen. Da gibt es die ein oder andere Beobachtung von Seiten der Rennleitung. 26,5 Rennminuten noch bei uns auf der Uhr. Affen, schöne Bilder. Mir wäre fast ein anderes Wort, das mit G beginnt, rausgerutscht. Und da werden die Kapperl geschwenkt. Ich glaube, man ist auch auf Seiten der Zuschauer einfach wieder glücklich, bei der Rennerei wieder mit dabei zu sein. Und zu dem Poller links gerade kurz unten im Bild sage ich dann später nochmal was, während es wieder den Berg hinaufgeht. Wir uns aber den Start noch einmal anschauen und sehen, dass Guven grundsätzlich im ersten Gang gut wegkam, dann aber ein Problem hatte, als es in den zweiten Gang hineinging. Das lief besser für Leon Köhler. Da hat er ein bisschen an Boden verloren. Jetzt müssen wir mal gucken, was bergauf passiert, während wir nochmal die Situation sehen. Ja, da wird er im Prinzip abgeklemmt durch Leon Köhler. Dadurch reißt eine Lücke auf und die Lücke kann dann einer nutzen, nämlich Larry Tenborder. Klemmt sich ein bisschen in den Windschatten. Wir gucken uns das Ganze jetzt noch einmal an. Da auf der linken Seite, das ist Guven, rechts daneben Köhler, klar, alles gut und ordentlich. Na, der Larry Tenforde muss sich erstmal hinten anstellen, also in Turn 1 hat das nicht funktioniert. Und jetzt nochmal aus der Sicht der Onboard-Kamera von Leon Köhler. Ja, und der kurze Blick nach links rüber. Wo ist er? Alles im Griff. Ganz, ganz ruhig die Sprache der Augen. Und dann zieht er durch. Wir werden im Übrigen, glaube ich, auch gleich den ersten in der Boxengasse haben. So habe ich zumindest aus dem Augen- oder Ohrenwinkel gerade mitbekommen. Während jetzt klar ist, was da geschehen ist dort oben, wodurch die Verwirrung entstand in Turn 1, nämlich Clément Matteux. Der drehte sich dort und der Kollege hier, Lukas Grunefeld, der hat mittlerweile die Boxenstraße angesteuert. Und wir gucken noch einmal in diesen Turn 1 hinein. Ja, aber der Matteux hatte damit nichts zu tun, sondern das war dann Glaser in der Auseinandersetzung mit einem anderen. Und da krachte dann Georgi Dunschew auch noch mit rein. Und das ist der Reifenschaden von Lukas Grunefeld. Wir haben den ja vorhin gesehen, wie es rechts durch die Wiese, durch die Rabatte hindurchging. Und der jetzt zurück in Richtung Boxenstraße. Ich habe meine Bedenken, dass der nochmal losfährt. Der wird wieder rauskommen, hoffe ich zumindest. Holger Harmsen, der mit 57 Jahren Dienstälteste, nee, der kommt nicht wieder raus. Es gibt ein Safety Car und es gibt im Übrigen auch Gesprächspartner in der Boxengasse. Tobi, bitte.
Ja, neben mir steht Lukas Grunefeld und wir sehen das Auto vor allem vorne rechts, die Felge, den Reifen komplett hinunter. So Lucas, what happened up there?
Yeah, I had a really bad start. Just completely fell down and I was at the back of the pack. I had a quite good opening lap, but yeah, somebody just came inside, spun somebody around and I just couldn't avoid it. It's part of racing incident and it happens.
How disappointed are you right
Yeah,
now?
really. Only all the starters were like really bad, and honestly, I shouldn't be there to be first, at the first place. But yeah, it happened, so nothing to do about it.
Okay, good luck for tomorrow. Thank you, Lukas. Also sagt
Perfect, thank
natürlich,
you.
sowas passiert da mal. Er hat plötzlich einen Schlag drauf bekommen, hat vor allem einen schlechten Start gehabt, ist deswegen weit zurückgefallen, hat sich da schon mega enttäuscht gerade geäußert und hofft natürlich, dass es morgen besser läuft. Aber sagt auch, ich hätte gar nicht so weit zurückfallen sollen, dann wäre das gar nicht zu diesem Kontakt vielleicht gekommen. Am Ende ist es so, es ist ein Rennunfall. Er ist natürlich enttäuscht, hofft aber natürlich auf morgen. Zurück zu dir, Burkhard.
Ja, ganz recht herzlichen Dank. Also Selbstanalyse oder Selbstreflexion, wenige Sekunden bereits nach dem Vorfall. Kompliment Lukas Grunefeld für das, was er aufgearbeitet hat. Und wie bereits vermutet, also da ist Schicht im Schacht, da geht absolut nichts mehr. Während die Kollegen mit dem großen Bagger dann unter Anleitung des Safety Cars oder unter Einbremsen des Feldes durch das Safety Car da erstmal zur Tat schreiten und den Holger Harmsen aus der HRT-Mannschaft dort ausgraben. Unser Safety Car im Übrigen ja ein Porsche Taycan Turbo S. Das heißt, wir reden über weit mehr als 700 PS, das sind fast 800. Und wir reden vor allen Dingen auch darüber, wenn der Apparat mal richtig antritt mit seiner E-Maschine, dann muss ein Cup-Auto ganz lange Zähne machen, um da hinten dranbleiben zu können. Wenn ich es richtig im Kopf habe, ist die Beschleunigung eines solchen Taycan ungefähr eine Zehntelsekunde schneller als ein Rennauto, ein Cup-Porsche mit betriebswarmem Reifen. So, den versucht man jetzt nicht rauszuziehen, sondern die Bergebalken kommen zum Einsatz oder zumindest baumelt der ja vorne schon mal an dem Radlader. Nee, die wollen doch ziehen. Wollen den zurückziehen, das geht auch klar. Zurückziehen auf die Rettungsstraße. Übrigens, diese Berge-Einrichtungen der Autos haben sich geändert. Da gibt es keine Metallbügel mehr, wie bei dem alten Auto. Die führten ja ganz oft zu Kühlerschäden. Sondern das sind jetzt Textillaschen, die also bei einer Berührung auch keine Kampfspuren hinterlassen. Und da wird dann das Abschleppseil des entsprechenden Bergefahrzeuges eingehängt. Dadurch geht das relativ leicht. Den zieht man jetzt raus. Problem beim Ziehen ist eigentlich immer nur Folgendes. Die Autos, die vorne und hinten nur eine relativ geringe Bodenfreiheit haben, von ganz grob gesagt 10 Zentimetern, die schaufeln sehr gerne dann Kies an. Und ich glaube, wir haben aber noch jemanden, das ist nicht Holger Harmsen, aber der Tobi Schimon wird mir jetzt mal sagen, wen er denn noch hat in der Box.
Ja, einer aus der Pro-M-Wertung, der heute nach dem Qualifying schon unzufrieden war, wie es lief. Jan-Erik Sloten und das UFO, das berühmt-berüchtigte, das die Fans ja so lieben immer, steht hier in der Box. Ja, so hören sich 16.000 PS an, ne? im Qualifying warst du unzufrieden. Warum steht dein Auto jetzt hier? Warum kannst du nicht weiterfahren?
Wir hatten eine Berührung in Turn 2 und da hat mich einer vorne links getroffen. Ich weiß nicht genau, was kaputt gegangen ist, aber da ging einfach gar nichts mehr. Es war ein bisschen schade. Die Gastfahrer, die sind hier mit ein bisschen viel Elan unterwegs. Ich denke, der Christian wird da später nochmal mit denen sprechen. Das ist ziemlich schade.
Das heißt, das Auto sieht jetzt aber... Wo ist genau die
Vorne
Beschädigung?
links.
Vorne links. Was genau ist kaputt gegangen?
Ich weiß es nicht. Ich würde mal sagen, Spurstange abgerissen oder sowas. Also fuhr auf jeden Fall nicht mehr geradeaus.
Okay, das heißt, morgen wieder Angriff, heute Nacht ein bisschen dran schrauben und morgen geht's weiter.
So sieht's aus.
Ja, so soll es sein. So machen das die Racer. Danke, Jan. Zurück zu dir, Burkhard.
Ja, recht herzlichen Dank. Also Auto krumm, 4 Spuren im Schnee macht nur im weitestgehenden Sinne wirklich Sinn für ein präzises Rennfahren, während das Safety Car sich weiter trollt, aber in dieser Runde reinkommen wird. Ja, Gastfahrer, das hat er gerade ein bisschen kritisch eben auch angemerkt. Also das sind diejenigen, die sich für den Supercar-Lauf in 2 oder 3 Wochen hier entsprechend vorbereiten wollen. Vor allen Dingen Dorian Boccolacci, Clément Matteu und Aaron Mason. Und das ist ein Brite. Die 3 fahren für die Mannschaft von Martin Alvarez und bekommen im Übrigen keine Meisterschaftspunkte, sondern da werden die nachfolgenden Teilnehmer aufrücken. Safety Car wird jetzt reinkommen und dann gibt es eben was hier, was wir im Augenblick sehen, nämlich schlicht und einfach die gelbe Flagge. Und damit ist klar, dass der Start jetzt gleich wieder freigegeben werden wird. Da sind wir mit Leon Köhler und mit Larry Tenfraude. Und damit ist die Ampel wieder auf grün. 15 Uhr und 21, Restdistanz 19 Minuten. Leon Köhler dahinter auf Podiumskurs und das ist die Heckkamera des Autos von Huber Racing, das Nebulus-Auto, das von Leon Köhler eingesetzt.
Here they come, Leon Kohler, Larry Tenford tucked up behind, picking up that slipstream. There's Rudy Van Buren on the outside of Dorian Boccolacci by the looks of things. The rest of the cars comes through, but Köhler has held off Larry Tenford. Tenford goes deep, Ayhan Guven doesn't. So Guven is putting the heat on, and look at Lauren Heinrich in 4th. This could go in any direction.
Yes, he could. What a fight that's going on. 3 abreast now in the Carrera Cup Germany. Look at this, Brian. Heading down towards turn number 4. 3 into 1 probably isn't going to go. Well, they all go through safely, and on the right outside of that was Maurice Schuring, who does manage to keep it on the tarmac, thankfully. Brilliant stuff from these drivers. Respectful but hard racing between them all. Rudolf Rinn there in the number 35 car, and Rudolf Rinn, who is currently running in P22. Bear in mind, we've got 32 starters in this. Regrettably, we've lost Holger Harmsen, Lucas Grotefeld and Jan-Erik Sluten.
But the cars are continuing very close together. These cars all absolutely evenly matched. It's the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, based on the 912. No, that's not the right numbering, is it? You get there's so many numbers, and it's very easy to get them all mixed up as Leon Kohler leads the way. I'll get back to you on that one. Carry on, then.
So Kohler then, who is what's playing into his hands here a little bit is Larry Tenford has got his rearview mirrors full of Ayhan Guven, who's trying to come back now. Ayhan Guven, in the meantime, has got his rearview mirrors full of Lauren Heinrich. On board with Leon Kohler then as Larry Tenford, and this is a good shot as we go on board with Ayhan Guven.
Right, drive-through penalty for car 14 for overtaking during the safety car operation. That is Ahmad Al-Shihab. He's a long way down in 25th place, so it's not going to affect him too much. Now, I've finally got my numbers together. The new Porsche Carrera Cup, it's the new car for this year, and I'm just going to go and have a lie down. It's based on the latest 992 generation of the 911. Easy to do. But the new, wider, more aggressive Porsche car, and they look great, don't they, in the 2021 season. We're looking at Luke Hartog in the number 4 car, currently in 17th, with Maurice Schuring behind him. And Maurice Schuring, the youngest driver ever to have taken part in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany.
Right, now you've dug yourself out of that hole. We'll go back to the race here, and here we can see a great onboard shot, and that's Aaron Mason to the left-hand side of your picture there in the number 23 car. Aaron Mason at the moment running in that P23 position, which is useful given that is his number as well, if that is not confusing. But look at this whole stream of Carrera Cup cars heading up towards turn number 1 then, and it's a really steep climb there. And Leon Kohler stretching his legs because Larry Tenford has got his hands full with Ayan Guven. Now, that looked like some stuff hanging off the side of Kim Hauschild's car there. Brian?
Yeah, he's been in contact, been in the wars. Kim Hauschild running down in 24th place, but clearly has had a bit of a rub with one of the other Porsches, and the wing hanging off doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. We saw Bastian Buus at Oschersleben, who collected an entire wheel and rearranged his bonnet. And there he is, Bastian Buus, on the inside of Julian Hanses. This is one of the real up-and-coming chargers. You can see Christopher Zirkling in there as well. But at Oschersleben, Bastian Buus wasn't even remotely slowed down by the rearranged front end. And he is one of the real tips for the top. He's just joined the series for this year. He's in P6, and there's a car going the wrong way. And somebody tell him that they're going in the other direction. That's Bashar Mardini, who is having a nightmare of an afternoon. Not having a great time, but it's Bashar Mardini going the wrong way, and he rejoins, but he is way down now. We're going to have a look. So it didn't look like there was contact. He just got a wheel on the dirt. The car went spinning around. I'm going to take this opportunity while we look at Bastian Buus to fill you in on who is leading in the Rookie Championship, and that is Bastian Buus. He's currently 6th on the road. The leading, it says the leading Pro-Am car is Bashar Mardini. I think that's unlikely given what we've just seen. So Carlos Rivas, who is 21st on the road, is currently the leading Pro-Am driver.
Here comes Ayan Guven, who's going to try and put one on Larry Ten Voorde here. To the outside. Now he'll try and go underneath the Larry Ten Voorde car with a little nerf just to help things along a little bit. But Larry Ten Voorde's got the momentum. Look how quickly they dive to the outside of the track, which becomes the inside for the next turn to deny Ayan Guven the opportunity. He takes a look at the outside there. He's trying to unsettle Ten Voorde here, but Larry is a wise driver. Knows where to place the car, and indeed maintains that P2 position, all of which is playing nicely into the hands of Leon Köhler, who's up the road now because Larry Ten Voorde is busy defending from Ayan Guven, from Lauren Heinrich, Max van Splunteren, Bastian Buus, who of course has got past Julian Hanses.
So here's a replay of that, and look how far ahead Leon Köhler is in all of that. But Ayan Guven trying everything he can to get past Larry Ten Voorde, but he is one of the hardest men ever to sit in a Porsche to overtake. So Larry Ten Voorde holds on to that position, and Leon Köhler disappears off up the road. Just to remind you, these cars are all equal, so to have the kind of gap that Leon Köhler does is quite impressive. We're looking again at Bastian Buus and Christian Zirkling, and that's Julian Hanses.
Oh, what a shame.
Getting it all up onto the gravel.
He did well to hold that.
He did very well, so he would have dropped down to 8th place. And that would have been a bit of a moment for him. I think his heart's beating quite hard after that. That's a Code Brown moment for Julian Hanses as he gets 2 wheels onto the dirt. Christopher Zirkling is able to open up the gap there. But yeah, Leon Köhler in cars that are all equal. Now, a lot of this, as we look at Dorian Boccolacci, and Boccolacci is challenging Jesse van Koyk for 9th place. But preservation of the car is important. The tyres do go off. We saw that a lot last year, and going too hard too soon is catastrophic. So Köhler will be now looking to preserve his car, having opened up that gap of about 1.4 seconds. Larry Ten Voorde will be looking to take some out of his car, I should think, as he tries to close that gap up.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So Julian Hanses is now, we see Maurice Schuring out. Now, where is that positioned? It's positioned right by a marshalling post, which should mean that the car can be recovered very quickly. And that was clattering into the number 19 car of Teixeira, wasn't it?
Antonio Teixeira.
Also, I think Dan van Koyk involved in that as well, wasn't he?
So that's a shame. Maurice Schuring.
You can see something broken on
a lot of damage. The youngest driver to have ever taken part in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and has been very impressive as well. He's 5th place is his best, which is no mean feat in this series. Doesn't look as though we're going to get a safety car.
No.
So we continue on the way. The car is out of harm's way. And now Larry Ten Voorde under pressure from Ayan Guven. So the question of tyre preservation and setup, ever present, the Phoenix Racing Porsche trying to pick up his slipstream, heading up towards turn 3. Really heavy braking here into the corner, and as they head into that corner, they're doing something close to 235 kilometers an hour, which is phenomenal. 5th gear at the end of the straight, then into 1st gear, round turn 3, and then back up into towards fifth gear and 235 kilometers an hour as they head in towards turn 4.
Guven all over the back of Ten Voorde, trying to find a way by. Of course, Ten Voorde now hugely experienced in these cars and knows where to place the car, and is having to focus and concentrate more on defending than attacking Leon Köhler, who is 1.5, if not more than that, seconds up the road now. And that really means that Leon Köhler has checked out from this. And then there's a three-way queue, isn't it, for P2? It's Larry Ten Voorde, Ayhancan Guven and Lauren Heinrich all want to be on that second step of the podium. What have we got remaining in this race? Just over 10 minutes, I suppose.
Where did that go?
Where did it go? Quite right.
Yeah, so yes, just coming up to the 10-minute mark, and it's all go. There's the more assuring car on the back of the flatbed truck, and hopefully we will be racing very shortly. So in a moment, Leon Köhler will once again have the job of backing the field up and trying to catch Larry Ten Voorde snoozing. We've already seen that that's not something that is easy to do. Larry Ten Voorde is very good at this. He's done quite a few restarts in this time, and he knows how to do it properly. So Leon Köhler is going to have to back the field up and then go when Larry is least expecting it.
So Leon Köhler then, and the lights will go out on the safety car just as I mention it. It's brilliant. So Köhler then will back them all up, weaving from side to side, as you say, trying to regenerate temperature into the brakes, which will dissipate out to the tyres. And you can see just how keen Larry Ten Voorde is to really anticipate when Köhler is going to give it large on the loud pedal.
Ten Voorde is not weaving at all. He wants to be ready. Köhler is weaving to lull him into a false sense of security, but that's not happening. It looks like Köhler has hit the accelerator, and Larry Ten Voorde once again has anticipated it brilliantly, as has Ayhancan Guven and Lauren Heinrich. So the first four really on the money. Max van Splinteren probably not as much so, but the first four have already broken away. Here we go in towards turn 1. It's Köhler leading the way, but the rest of the cars queued up behind, all picking up the slipstream, and Köhler going wide out of the corner, as they all do, using every part of the track he's allowed to. But Larry Ten Voorde is looking dangerous.
Ten Voorde is on a mission now as they run up towards the Remus turn, through the kink, which is turn number 2. Inside or outside, which way is Larry Ten Voorde going to go? Well, he sits right behind Leon Köhler. He's not able to get alongside the Leon Köhler car on the exit of turn number 3, which is where he needs to be to put an overtake on, potentially going into turn number 4. In fact, Ten Voorde is under pressure here from Ayhancan Guven, who takes a look at the inside but isn't quite close enough, Brian.
Further back, it's Christopher Zirkling who's making his move on Bastian Boost. Bastian Boost in 6th place. Christopher Zirkling, who's come back to the series this year very impressively indeed, and he is turning the heat up on Bastian Boost. Meanwhile, Leon Köhler taking advantage of Larry Ten Voorde having to drive defensively to open up a gap, and Ayhancan Guven is putting an immense amount of heat on Larry Ten Voorde. This is the view from Guven, and you can see under braking into the corner how he closes up, now looking back at Lauren Heinrich. So there's a camera at the front and the back of the Guven car, and you really get a good perspective with a little over 2 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race.
So this has all played nicely into the hands of Leon Köhler, who has managed to put a few tenths between himself and Larry Ten Voorde. Is 7 tenths actually. Ten Voorde then, who has got Guven and Heinrich all over the back of him. So as they head up now towards turn number 3, Ten Voorde is not going to be doing any attacking here. Rather more, he is going to be defending from Ayhancan Guven. Which way is Ayhancan going to go? Well, he looks to the inside, but isn't able to put himself alongside Ten Voorde. Larry's done a good job. He places the car perfectly, Brian, and denies Ayhancan Guven to get the momentum he needs out of turn 3.
You stole the words from my mouth. He had that car absolutely spot in the middle. He knew exactly what he was doing. I am amazed by how quickly Leon Köhler has been able to open up a gap. Lauren Heinrich putting the pressure on as well, and that means that Ayhancan Guven is going to have to go from being the hunter to the defender, and Lauren Heinrich is very close to Ayhancan Guven. Guven still putting the heat on Larry Ten Voorde. Surely something's got to give with these three. Larry Ten Voorde, as Ayhancan Guven breathing all the way down his exhaust pipe. Lauren Heinrich ever closer. Max van Splinteren too far back to do anything about it. So Lauren Heinrich has all the advantage of not giving up places. But here we go again. Ayhancan Guven, a little peep on the inside, less than a minute to go. Larry Tenforder knows exactly where to put that car to stop him getting past.
Great driving from all of them. Respectful, firm, but fair, as Leon Köhler extends his margin by another 5 tenths, will you believe, as Larry Tenforder now under real strife from Ayhancan Guven, who tries to put himself right alongside the Tenforder car. If he can get a momentum here, Tenforder could be in trouble. Waiting to take advantage as well as Lauren Heinrich. Here comes Ayhancan Guven now. The outside is not necessarily where you want to be for turn 3, but is he going to be able to make it work? He's got the pace over Larry Tenforder. All the way around the outside would be a big win here. He carries speed, he carries momentum. Now it's going to be the drag race to turn number 4. Tenforder, I think, has got the measure of this, or has he? Because right behind them is Lauren Heinrich, who looks to the inside of Tenforder now. Guven to the outside. Guven could lose out to Lauren Heinrich now.
Wow, what great racing. So Larry Tenforder again doing exactly what he needs to do. The clock's at 0, but Ayhancan Guven and Lauren Heinrich, and Heinrich very nearly got past Guven. Guven was so lucky to get away with that, and that's allowed the Max van Splunteren car to close in as well. We are in the closing stages of this race. Larry Tenforder somehow has held on to that second place. Ayhancan Guven, has he got anything else left to offer? It doesn't look like it. Lauren Heinrich now can sniff some extra points and a possible podium, so he is turning the heat up on Ayhancan Guven.
So extraordinary racing from all of our Carrera Cup racers, as across the timing line now to start the +1 lap goes Leon Köhler.
So Leon Köhler has now opened up a gap of 1.9 seconds, so very impressive. Larry Tenforder has nothing to bring to the party on that one. There's Dorian Boccolacci on the inside of Jesse van Kuik, and Rudy van Buren is in there as well. So Dorian Boccolacci, a real entertainer in this series, and Dorian Boccolacci is trying to find his route into 9th place, and under braking, it's Boccolacci who steals the position away. Rudy van Buren coming through as well. This is so good, isn't it? Great entertainment. There's Bastian Boost, and it was Bastian Boost there, also involved in the fight with Christopher Zirkling. But we're on the final lap. These are the final few moments of this race, and that is Max van Splunteren and Bastian Bus. So Bastian Bus has got past Max van Splunteren and up into 5th place. So great driving from Bus, just when we thought his challenge was over.
You always said before we even started this season, Bastian Bus is going to be one of those drivers to look out for. So too Leon Köhler, who's leading this race by very nearly 2 seconds over Larry Tenforder. We're heading towards the checkered flag.
And it's Leon Köhler who is the man who's leading the way. Leon Köhler into the final corner, out onto the home straight. He goes a little wide, but he sees the checkered flag. He ducks towards the flag. It's Leon Köhler who takes his first win of the year in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Across the line second, Larry Tenforder from Ayhancan Guven, Lauren Heinrich in 4th. Great drive from Bastian Bus to be the leading rookie in 5th, ahead of Max van Splunteren, Christopher Zirkling and Julian Hanses. The guesting Dorian Boccolacci is in 9th, ahead of Jesse van Kuik. And the leading Pro-Am driver, well, surprise, surprise, is Carlos Rivas. He makes a habit of that, 19th on the road. You can see how much this means to Leon Köhler and also to the Nebulous Racing by Huber team.
Fantastic, Christoph Huber there in the middle of those celebrations. Team principal, of course, Leon Köhler. What a fantastic drive. And I'll tell you what, Brian, in my opinion, where he really scored for me was not the fact that he won the race necessarily, it's the fact that he had to retake or maintain his lead on two separate safety cars up against Larry Tenforder, who is a master.
No mean feat whatsoever. So Leon Köhler, a great drive, and never looked anything less than an absolute winner. Brilliant driving from Leon Köhler, from Larry Tenforder, Ayhancan Guven, Lauren Heinrich, Bastian Bus, Max van Splunteren, Christopher Zirkling, and Julian Hanses. 9th was Dorian Boccolacci from Jesse van Kuik, Rudy van Buren, and Yuka Honkavori, Fabio Citignola, Sandro Kaibach, Loic Hartog, and Dan van Kuik. 17th, the visiting Sebastian Freimut, Rudolf Reen, Carlos Rivas, the leading Pro-Am driver, Kim Hausschild, Clement, Matteo, Georgi Donchev, and Aaron Mason ahead of Antonio Teixeira, Bashar Mardini, and the remaining places Ahmad Al-Shahab and Christoph Langer and Holger Harmsen, the last of the runners. Wow, I feel like I need to lie down after that. That was fantastic. This is why we love the Porsche Carrera Cup. Pure racing from these drivers, all in equal cars, and it really is edge of the seat stuff.
They say so often, don't they, in motorsport series, that the cars are all equal, but in the Carrera Cup, it's the closest they ever can be, isn't it? They're so good. Of course, run by different teams, but the level of driving and the level of car preparation and the level of performance from our drivers and cars as a combination is extraordinary. And here in replay, just some of those moves that went on during the course of that race. And bear in mind, we had 32 cars start the race,
yeah.
Brian. And actually, with due respect, 32 cars started the race, 28 finished. That's only 4 that were out of the race.
Yeah, very impressive indeed, and just shows what the driving standards are like in this. Some great drivers. You have the old hands in the Pro-Am categories.
Talking of old hands, look at
Christoph Huber, yes.
Holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
I mean, Leon Köhler was utterly thrilled, wasn't he? You can see that inside the car.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted for him. Delighted for him, really I am.
And as we said before...
Very nearly took Christoph Huber out, didn't he, on the pit wall?
He probably tried. As we said before, getting a win in this series is no mean feat. You've got to be pretty good to even get on the podium here. And to beat the likes of Larry Tenforder and Ayhanchen Guven, that is a great effort. Leon Köhler really showing what he's capable of and what he can do. And Larry Tenforder at the top of the points, Lauren Heinrich just 12 points behind, and then Leon Köhler 31 points off the lead of the points championship. So it's very, very close. Anybody who thought that Larry Tenforder was going to run away with it were much mistaken, because Larry Tenforder, having dominated the start of the season, is finding that the opposition is coming back to him, and it's coming back strong. But Larry Tenforder, still the clear favourite, I would say, in the championship, because he's always there, and has yet to finish off the podium in either the 2020 or the 2021 season.
What's nice, though, is that Larry Tenforder was one of the very first to go and congratulate Leon Köhler there. You know, there's a great spirit of camaraderie between the Carrera Cup races. Of course, all the friendship and everything is forgotten about when you get out on the track, but then it's plenty of needle, of course. But actually, off the track, I mean, just a fantastic bunch of drivers, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good to see them getting on and supporting each other and encouraging each other. And when you've been racing like that, that takes a bit of doing. When you've been rubbing doors with somebody for half an hour.
Yep. And
there is absolutely no room for mistakes. You make a mistake in this.
Christoph Huber in the background, forgive me.
Delighted. Of course, that was the man that Larry Tenforder was driving for. Was that last year? Or was it the year before?
Year before.
All blurs into one, doesn't it? So, yeah, Christoph Huber can see his old protege moving on, and here's his new protege, Leon Köhler. And Leon Köhler, you've just smudged the camera lens, for goodness sake.
Great bunch of people, great bunch of people. So the drivers will be heading up to the podium in due course. Of course, the focus of media is upon them first of all, and that's just how delighted Leon was crossing the finish line. And here he is out of the car that has served him well and delivered. And there you can see right behind shots being taken of Leon Köhler celebrating. Thought he was going to jump on top of the car. But he didn't.
I'm pleased he didn't, because I've seen many an accident as a result of that kind of thing.
Careful on that podium, some people slip.
Survive a race and then fall off the roof of your car. That's always good, isn't it?
So there is Christoph Huber congratulating. Christoph is, the team principals across the Carrera Cup are great people as well.
Yeah.
You know, they share the emotion. They're full of emotion, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's wonderful to enjoy and delightful for us to be able to talk about it. Thrilled to be able to do so. Leon Köhler then the winner. And there you can see the lovely shot of the Red Bull Ring, and that gives you an indication of just how hard the climb is up to turn number 1. As we get some replays then. Yeah, no, there was no need for that, friend. Sorry, you've upset my colleague alongside me here. No,
No,
nobody no need for that.
Nobody wants to see that at dinner time, do they? I mean, come on. Soft focus from here on.
Spectators, we're delighted to see back here at the Red Bull Ring for this weekend's event, and Carrera Cup having delivered so much entertainment over 30 minutes there, including safety cars thrown in for good measure just when we needed them. Not. Well, we did, clearly, but, you know, for Leon Köhler, that's what impressed me most. It's the maturity of the driving, Brian. You know, and let's be truthful, he's not an old young man, is he?
No.
He's still a very young man.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen him in the last couple of years just slowly getting better and better. And I'd say he was one of 3 drivers to win a race last year, but was not really a contender for much of the year. But he seems to have gone up a gear over the winter. He's added to his 3 fourths and a 5th place from the first 4 races of the year. He has got another 11 races this year in which to compete and in which to improve further. But if he can carry on with performances like that, he is going to be yet another force to be reckoned with, as if we needed any more of those in this series.
Well, the thing is, I mean, this is just such a great proving ground. But Porsche do such a good job, don't they? You know, talent pool, you know, the young drivers who have gone on to huge, huge success. And I mean, you know, it was only a few years ago that I can remember Larry Temporter making his debut. Genuinely.
Yeah.
You know, and look at him now. A huge driver who is actually in demand as a driver coach from other gentleman drivers, you know, because his talent is extraordinary, isn't it?
And you look at other race series, you look at GT Masters or just GT World Challenge, how many of those drivers have come through Porsche Carrera Cup Germany? And looking at the Nürburgring 24-hour race last week, and you have the likes of Thomas Preining and Dylan Pereira, who have all come through the ranks here, so many top drivers in other classes, and this is where they learnt the really tough stuff.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Moritz Frauein, I think, just made his way past there. Hello, Moritz, how are you? So everyone is getting ready for and there is, to the right-hand side of your picture, got to give him a name check here, a guy that works so hard for us, Burkhard Bexel, stupid guy, on the microphone there doing the trophy presentations, as he does so very well.
He travels Europe in his camper van with his dog, which has a wheelchair, and I think it's wonderful. And he does an amazing amount for Porsche. Top bloke, as we see the podium presentation. So we saw Ayhancan Guven, now we see Larry Tenborder and Leon Köhler taking the top step. And now we will get ready for the national anthem.
Mein lieber Glückwunsch an euch, und es gibt die Trophäen. Unser Projektleiter.
So the national anthem has been played out, and here come the trophies to be presented then. Chief coordinator of the Carrera Cup, making the trophy presentation to P3. Here comes the PT, that's physical training. The P2 trophy. And of course, the race-winning trophy will go to. I've lost the plot now.
That implied you had it in the first place, but yes, goes to Leon Köhler, the race winner.
And Christoph Huber congratulates and rewards all his team as well. The reason Christoph Huber always wants to do this, you know, is because he always wins the race for the champagne spraying. You watch. Look, see?
There he
told
goes.
you.
Was there actually any champagne in that bottle?
Didn't appear to have a lot of fizz in that, to be honest with you.
He is the king of the spraying, isn't he? So,
yes. Well done to all the drivers. Brilliant display of fantastic Carrera Cup race action that we have seen this afternoon. And the good thing is, of course, Brian, we have another race to come tomorrow.
Can't wait. It's going to be reset as you were and find out whether this man can do it again or whether Larry Tenforder has something else up his sleeve. It's so close, this could go anyway. But tomorrow is when the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany returns to the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and it is going to be well worth a watch. We do hope you're going to join us then. We look out across the Red Bull Ring now. The crowd have been thoroughly entertained, and the celebrations continue. Very shortly, we hope to bring you some highlights as we reflect on what has been a very dramatic afternoon of racing from Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. So we can still hear the presentations going on in the background.
Of course, because they do the podium for the AM Championship as well. Here are the highlights from Brian and myself. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you join us for Race 2 for Carrera Cup Germany tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.